Rockford could be home to a multi-million-dollar data center from San Diego-based Monarch Energy, a development that some say could bring thousands of jobs to the region. WIFR reached out to the utility company ComEd regarding that. In a statement, they say in part, ComEd is engaged in an engineering process to develop infrastructure and transmission network upgrades needed to support their planned project for Rockford. It continues to say that Monarch is one of the first companies to sign a transmission security agreement, which ComEd says is a customer protection initiative that ensures large load projects pay their fair share of the cost.